Scammers can be very imaginative and manipulative. They can be very persuasive in the strategies they will use to try and obtain information from you. In order to protect yourself, if someone contacts you trying to persuade you of something, perhaps with some exciting information of a financial win, or an incredible real estate deal, or some news that plays with your emotions, you need to take a moment to step back from the emotion and the excitement. Consider the facts and think about whether the information is genuine. There are many misconceptions that people have which work in the favour of scammers. For example, people assume all businesses or organisations are legitimate because they are approved and monitored by the government. This is not always the case. Government organisations can only enforce standards or monitor business practices and catch scammers if fake or illegitimate businesses and organisations are reported by members of the public. Another assumption is that all internet websites are legitimate. This is not always true. Websites are very easy and very cheap to develop and to set up, and this can be done overseas. Many websites look like the real thing. They can appear legitimate and are quite believable. For example, in the case of Google, fake replica sites known as Goggle or Google, a misspelled version of the name with a triple O, have the same page appearance as the legitimate Google website. These types of replica sites have been set up in the past. Some fake websites are created quickly and may only be open for a few days, but this can be long enough to scam people, just like you. Another belief that makes people vulnerable to scams are the get-rich-quick schemes. There is no truth to these schemes. You really need to stop and think for a moment and ask yourself the question, if someone knew the secret to instant wealth, why would they be telling their secret to others? It's not likely to be true. Another myth that exists is that scams always involve obtaining large sums of money from people. This actually is not always the case. More often than not, scammers will target a large number of people to try and secure a small amount of money from each person. Fooling a large number of people out of a small amount of money each quickly adds up. It's also untrue that scams are always about directly obtaining money from people. Some scams are aimed at stealing personal information from you. For example, a scammer might be interested in stealing your identity, and the person will then present themselves as you, falsely using your name for their own motives. It is important to be fully informed to protect yourself from scammers. Here are some suggestions on how you can prevent yourself from becoming the victim of a scam. There are some golden rules to help you beat the scammers. If an offer to you seems extremely tempting, involves money offers, or seems too good to be true, make sure you get independent advice from a friend or a family member before proceeding. It's important that you realise there are no guaranteed get-rich-quick schemes. The only people who make money out of get-rich-quick schemes are the scammers who profit from tricking you. Please protect yourself from these types of scams. Do not agree to offers or deals straight away. If you think you've spotted a great opportunity, insist on time to consider the offer further and ensure that you get independent advice before making a decision. The key point to remember is take your time. There's no need to rush a decision. Do not hand over money or sign anything until you've done your homework. You should understand all the details involved in a transaction, and you should check the credentials of the company that you are dealing with before you make a commitment. Do not rely on glowing testimonials from unknown parties on the organisation's website. Find solid evidence of a company's success by doing your own research and making other inquiries. Log directly onto a website that you are interested in rather than clicking on links provided in an email. Links via email can present a higher degree of risk. Entering the website URL in your browser is a much safer strategy. Never send money or give credit card or account details to anyone you do not know or have never met or do not trust. It is absolutely vital that you are aware that banks and credit unions will never email you asking you for your account details. So please do not respond to these types of queries. If you spot a scam or feel suspicious that something could be a scam, or if you yourself have been scammed, get help. Tell the appropriate authorities about the scam. Contact the Office of Fair Trading in your state or territory, or alternatively contact the ACCC or the ASIC for assistance. There are other strategies you can use to protect yourself from scams. These include installing security software, such as antivirus or anti-spyware software. You need to ensure you update these regularly, as scams evolve all the time, and you want your software to be up to date. Turn on the automatic updates feature in your computer so that all your software receives the latest fixes as they are released. Another useful strategy is having a strong password that cannot be easily guessed by people and is therefore harder to steal and use. Change your password regularly, at least twice a year. Something else you can do is to stop and think before you click on links or attachments. Make sure you are certain it is not a scam before you go ahead and click on any links or sites. Just be careful about how you proceed. In addition, please stop and think before you share any personal or financial information about yourself. You need to consider, should I be sharing this information? For example, scammers may ask you for details about your parents' names or other family members or friends' names. Be wary of such requests for details. Make sure they are legitimate inquiries before providing information. Also, make sure you are informed about new scams and risks and that you know how to stay safe online. If you suspect a scam, you should report your suspicions. To keep informed about scams and the latest schemes, you can bookmark the website www.scamwatch.gov.au and check the information at the website regularly. Another helpful strategy is to join ScamWatch to receive regular updates sent to you via email from ScamWatch. Although we've talked a lot about scams, on the whole, using the internet is fun and is usually safe. What is important is you taking steps to protect yourself from the possibility of being scammed. It's perfectly fine for you to use online banking services and to make purchases using your credit card when shopping online. However, use your common sense. Protecting yourself and your information is the best prevention. So your best weapon against the fight with scammers is knowledge. Go out there and get the information. Then you can beat the scammers at their own game.